morning, the 17th of January, 2020. Getting some freezing rain and sleet this morning. Didn't get the snow like they thought we were, at least not yet anyway. I had to come up here with the 299 and make some ditch crossings on the hill first thing this morning, so the guys get up here and start getting some of these trees out. And then I'm real big on keeping clean log roads, so I'm kind of going through here on my way out with the bucket down, just kind of getting some of this debris and stuff out of the road, piling it up a little bit. Go too fast just for that reason right there. Just want to be easy and take your time. The last thing you want is a piece of debris coming through your window with you. Come on now. Start cutting some cottonwood down here on the edge of the field. Kind of keep pace with that, because it's all got to be cut too. So Kenny's up here cutting this white oak. I'll go down the bottom, cut some of the junk wood today. Then I'm going to work the log deck as timber starts coming out. And hopefully won't have any trouble making it home today. The weather will let up, we hope. John coming down the hill with more white oak. White oak and an ash. Pretty good size ash. Well, I'm working on these cottonwood beneath the hill here. This one here, I had to cut it in two pieces. It's so long and I don't like to waste anything. That Y crotch, I'm going to try to pull a piece off both sides of that Y crotch. So we left plenty up there for a good 8-foot log on the pallet material. Then of course this big long devil here. A lot of footage in these old trees. Probably well over 1,000 foot in this tree right here. So you don't have to cut too many of these to run up in some footage. Even though it is just pallet material, it still adds up at the end of the day. A couple of these here, like this big double, I'm gonna have to wait to cut these because it's gonna fall back in our log road. And actually this one here got pretty close. So I'll get this little guy right here cut, and then we'll work our way on down this little swampy area and try to get the rest of these on the ground. Now the wind is starting to pick up. It's still freezing rain and sleeting. The first tree, well, the second tree that drew out, first thing I cut this morning was a little scraggler walnut that really didn't amount to much, but you can see that white oak there. That is a behemoth. That is one big log. We'll go up and take a look at it here a little later, kind of get the rundown on it. I don't mind cutting cottonwood sometimes. Sometimes I don't like cutting cottonwood. It always seems to me, and maybe it's just me, that whenever I'm cutting it, it's so full of water and it's so soft it just gums my saw up. You can see this is a pretty good sized tree. I had just a little sliver holding in the heart there and on the back side, but she went ahead and come on over. Pretty good sized tree. They're fun to see the big ones hit the ground, but like I said, This one here, this little thing leans so hard. I was looking at it. Of course, the camera really never does things any justice. John on the skidder there doing a little cleanup from the last tree that come down. Kenny on the cat stacking logs. Those logs will not hardly stack. Before we took lunch a bit ago, I was stacking, and it's so much freezing rain right now, which you can see the ice, and we're probably pretty dumb for even being out here because cutting is getting kind of dangerous and the roads are terrible. But those logs, as soon as you try to stack them, if there's any kind of momentum at all going backwards, they're sliding right off the pile, sliding off the forks. So it's getting pretty rough. I'm going to try to bring down this other big cottonwood here. It's got a hard lean to it, but there's a lot of footage in it, and I think I can get it down one way or another. I think I can get it down, and we're trying not to go terribly fast here on cutting these, just because they make such a mess out in the field, and it's crucial to get the tops and all the debris pushed back in like John's doing there. Kenny's laying out some of those better white oak cuts now. So you can't see it on the other side of the trailer and the truck there, but that's where logs were coming off the deck this morning. Pretty good layout. Wish we had a little better working conditions today instead of freezing rain. See, we were supposed to get snow up here, which snow don't bother us. This ice and freezing rain makes things tricky. I never claimed to be pretty, but I got it down. It did have a hard lean, and it pulled a little bit on that back side I had for some hold wood, but I'm not upset about that. John's got it choked a long ways back, but he couldn't get the choker around it. Should have hooked back into the main line probably. So it looks like he might be getting ready to have trouble right here. Yeah, he's hung himself up. It ain't gonna go. That's why I don't like hooking back on those logs. I like to hook about 12 to 18 inches back on them. I don't think that's, I'm gonna have to cut that little tree. He's gonna get her wedged in there good. But they're big trees, a lot of footage in them. When he comes back, we're gonna try to pull that down what's up in the air there, because it crotches off right there. And there it goes. Anyway, we're gonna pull it down because it crotches off, and I can get a couple pieces out of that. And like I told you guys, I'm pretty stingy. When I cut something, I want to get all I can out of it. Even on the pallet side, if we can get anything, I want to utilize everything possible on it. And plus, it's just less debris we got to pile up here, because everything that falls out in this field, we're pushing it all back here out of the way. That way it doesn't interfere with farming. And a lot of times on stuff like this, you know, you get these big trees in here that blanket so much of this, and you can tell this is kind of a wet area right here, which a lot of it's from drainage under the hill. But you take a lot of these big cottonwood and sycamore that are along these fields, you know, they pull a lot of water out of the ground. So I'm not saying they're gonna increase their yield by tenfold, but I would say that they'll be able to tell a little bit of difference on, especially on the shading, water consumption. There should be more water for the crops, more sunlight for the crops. So it's really a good deal, and especially right in here, you know, not having the canopy from the blocking out the sun, it should help dry this quite a bit more. Go. Pretty good pile of pallet. Still got quite a bit of pallet to cut. We got to get out of here pretty quick because the freezing rain has turned to now just rain, and our ground's starting to thaw. So that's been Missouri logging here lately. And after talking to a bunch of the guys, the MFPA and the logging council meetings Tuesday, it's kind of the story all over the state. It's wet weather and mud. It's the last month or so has been tough. You just kind of work when you can get in there and make the most of things. And like for us, the skid steers are, you know, they keep us going a lot because we can always get logs out to the roadside where we can pick them up and load them and go. Big cottonwood. Guys, I'd say that'd be it for the weekend. Be back Monday, hopefully some more cold weather. Be back at it again.